Next up is Obligatory Boss Rush level by SnoruntPyro. Again, I'm gonna edit down the loading time in post. We'll acquire a lot of special weapons here. You know what? Let's go through this as base instead. We usually go through these boss rushes as Mega Man. So like the hatches rooms, seems just like them. I'll go through this in clockwise order, starting off with the blue teleporter. First up is Iceman. I mean, for bosses, it doesn't really matter I'm using the base buster. It still deals the same amount of damage as the regular buster. Oh, teleporters can spawn in as well, I didn't realize that. That's new to me. I guess all teleporters on screen are removed when a boss is here, or you can spawn them in essentially. Where's my life pickup? Don't tell me I don't have life pickups here. I think I have boss weaknesses now, or at least some of them. And I do have life pickups before I enter the boss rooms, so that works. All these are Mega Man 1 or Mega Man 1 powered up bosses. All bosses down here are done. Let's go to the left first. Rats. This stage has split pathways. No wonder why it's so long. These are the Mega Man 2 bosses. Bubble Man's next up. They all take place in the original arenas. We can backtrack though, which is handy. In fact, by doing so, I can reset myself back to full health. So it isn't too bad, I don't need to replay through the stage multiple times. Thanks, Pyro. Crashman's next. You know, I think it'd be better if I went through this as Mega Man or Proto Man. Charge shots would speed up the process immensely. So I'm gonna backtrack over to the intro screen and swap back over to Mega Man. And Metal Man, to finish the Mega Man 2 quartet. Now what's up here? We're probably gonna face off against all bosses in this engine so far. That's the other side. So I'll need to take care of them next. On to Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 4. I'm being silent here as I have nothing else to say. We're going to be facing off against every single boss currently in the engine as of version 1.5. I'll be 100%ing this, so this episode may be split into two, especially due to its length. At least they're done relatively in order of appearance in their classic Mega Man titles, starting off from Mega Man 1 going all the way up to Mega Man 9. Well, I had an access key over there, so I lost it. I won't be spinning all my keys on each pathway though, so it's not too much of a loss. When Pyro titled this as a boss rush stage, I didn't think it would be a super boss rush stage, covering every single boss here. Once this is edited down, this level alone is going to take 16 minutes long. At least we're up to Mega Man 6 now. I'm kinda losing track of where we are. I wish there was more explicit markers of where we are on the map. No wonder why the stage took so long to load up. That's all 4 teleporters done on this route, so on to the other route. At least I have these doors to indicate the different routes, and I can always abuse quick resetting to get back to full health without using lives. I can only imagine encountering a stage like this during the Wily Challenge run. That'd be kind of a nightmare unless you skip past it. Thankfully, as of version 1.5, you can now skip levels during the Wily Challenge run without losing a life, unless you're airborne or low on life. Whatever low on life means. Does it mean below half health or close to that? Or does it mean anything below max health? And now we're up to Mega Man 7. See, I like how this stage showcases how you can plonk down every single boss in the engine into one level, but it gets rather monotonous. Now we're up to Mega Man 8. So only 3 bosses left, I guess, after this. And hey, you can use the stage as essentially a boss practice stage. And because I only have access to up to 10 weapons at a time, it's not always clear what the boss's weaknesses are. This room's clear, so let's get out of here. I think I'll split off this episode either before the start of the previous level or at the start of this level. The last 2 bosses. First up is Tornado Man. Concrete Man, first time I faced you here. Sure, I probably don't need it for the final boss battle, if there is any. I even forgot to use a jewel satellite earlier. I never figured out which boss is weak to the tornado hold either. He hits like a truck. Let me showcase something. Well, I crashed right at the end. I don't know how this happened, but hopefully this glitch is fixed in a future update. Alright, I'm back. I had to reset the game as it resulted in a hard crash. Hopefully that's fixed in a future revision. Just imagine getting that at the end of a long level, or a Wily Challenge run. Nevertheless, I 100%ed the stage, and going to face off against... no one actually. Thank you, we've already faced off against Bubble Man and probably 30 or 40 odd bosses. Last but not least is Whirlpool Ocean by Schmidkalkan. Much shorter than any of the previous levels. In fact, I'd say this is going to be the second shortest. I think this is Aquaman's background. Only have access to the tornado hold here. And my apologies, during the previous episode, I accidentally called it the thunder hold. All the stages have pretty good checkpoint placement. It's just that all of them feel rather long, longer than traditional Mega Man levels, but I guess it's done to showcase most of the major new features added in this update. When I first started recording this episode, I didn't expect to take over 1 hour to complete all these levels. At most, I thought it was going to take 45 minutes. Still need to get used to aiming it. And I'm back. I died 2 times off screen, one due to miscalculating my jump, and the other because I ran out of health. I still need to learn how to use the tornado hole in this engine. Against Tornado Man, I see why. To be fair, at least it multi-hits him, so it isn't too bad. In fact, this boss battle was pretty fun, simple but effective. Nevertheless, I'm still pretty excited about the version 1.5 update. These 6 levels pretty well showcase the new assets and features added in version 1.5, but we'll have to wait for other level designers to see how wide open this treasure trove can be expanded. I already foresee so many combinations of ideas and whatnot. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Toodles!